There are tons of arguments and theories about the moon landing, which run the gamut from mechanical issues to environmental issues. These are too numerous to even begin to comb through. No one has brought to light a single shred of evidence that couldn't be explained. However, there are two particular issues that are hard to ignore. The blueprints and design and development drawings of the machines involved in the Apollo moon landing are missing. If that wasn't strange enough, the original Apollo 11 data tapes, which contain telemetry and the high-quality video of the first moonwalk, are also missing. You would think that such vital documents would be almost impossible to misplace. Who could do such a thing? How could this even happen? NASA archivist at Goddard Space Flight Center, Dr. David R. Williams, alongside Apollo 11's flight director Eugene F. Krantz, have both admitted that the original high-quality Apollo 11 telemetry data tapes are currently missing. Conspiracists point to this as evidence that they never really existed. Apollo 11's telemetry tapes differed from other telemetry tapes of previous moon landings because they were home to the raw television broadcast. Let's look at some technical aspects of the footage itself. The Apollo 11 lander had a slow-scan television camera installed on it. As a means to broadcast the images to regular television sets, a scan conversion had to be performed. The radio telescope at Parkes Observatory in Australia was able to receive the telemetry from the moon at the time of the Apollo 11 moonwalk. Parkes had a larger antenna than NASA's antenna in Australia at the Honeysuckle Creek tracking station. Therefore, it received a higher quality picture. In addition to that, it received better image quality than NASA's antenna at Goldstone Deep Space Communications Complex. This direct television signal, along with the telemetry data, was recorded onto 1-inch 14-track analog tape at Parkes. The original slow-scan television transmission had better contrast and detail than the scan-converted pictures. There's just one problem. It's also the original tape that is missing. A crude real-time scan conversion of the slow-scan television signal was done in Australia before it was broadcast worldwide. That being said, still photos of the original slow-scan television image are available. There's also about 15 minutes of footage that was filmed by an amateur 8mm film camera currently available. Later Apollo missions did not use slow-scan television cameras. According to Dr. Williams, some of the telemetry tapes from the scientific experiments from the Apollo Lunar Surface Experiments package left on the moon still exist. The program ran until 1977, and copies of those tapes have been located. Others are seeking the missing telemetry tapes for far different reasons. The recordings are home to the original and highest quality video feed from the Apollo 11 landing. Many former Apollo personnel want to locate the tapes for posterity, whilst NASA engineers looking towards future moon missions believe the recordings could come in handy for their design studies. Here are the facts as we know them. The original Apollo 11 tapes were sent to be stored at the United States National Archives in 1970. However, by 1984, all the Apollo 11 tapes were returned to the Goddard Space Flight Center at their request. In November 2006, Cosmos Online reported that about 100 data tapes that were recorded in Australia during the Apollo 11 mission were located in a small marine science laboratory housed inside the main physics building at the Curtin University of Technology in Perth, Australia. NASA was sent one of the old tapes for analysis, but the slow-scan television images were not on the tape. Then things got even stranger. In July 2009, NASA suggested that it must have erased the original Apollo 11 moon footage years ago so that it could reuse the tape. Again, why would anyone delete something of such historical significance? NASA issued a final report on the Apollo 11 telemetry tapes in December 2009. Senior engineer Dick Nafska, who was in charge of the live television recordings during the Apollo missions, was put in charge of the restoration project. According to Nafska, after a 3-year search, the inescapable conclusion was that about 45 tapes of Apollo 11 video were erased and reused. The 45 tapes consisted of an estimated 15 tapes recorded at each of the 3 tracking stations. Was this human error or an unfortunate coincidence? We may never know.